can be written in two different methods. First method is the Css Ruleset method, and the second is the Css. First, let's see the Css Ruleset. In the beginning of the Css Ruleset comes the selector, and the selector is used to target the element that we want to style. Then comes a pair of curly brackets, and inside the bracket comes our declaration. So the first part of our declaration is called the property, and the property specifies what to style of the targeted HTML element. And the second part of our declaration is the value of the property. Like, how do we want to change the property? And each rule must end with a semicolon here. Now let's see an example. For example, we want to change our H1 heading to color blue. Okay, so who do we want to change? We want to change the H1, right? So our selector will be H1. And then next, what do we want to change? The color, right? So the property name will be color. And then how do we want to change? We want it blue. So blue will be the value. That's for Css Ruleset. Next, let's come to Css Inline Styles. Css Inline Styles are written inside the opening tag of our element. First, we write the style attribute inside the opening tag, and the CSS code or the declaration part goes inside the quotation mark of the style attribute. And then the first part of the declaration is a property, which is same as the Css Ruleset, and the second part is the value, which is same as the Css Ruleset. Lastly, make sure to end the style with a semicolon. Now, if we want to style the H1 heading to blue using inline style, we write it this way. First, we give a style attribute inside the opening tag of H1 element, and then we write the property name to color, and then set the value to blue. You might be wondering how to know how would you know what property name to use for setting a particular style. For that, you can refer to this Css Mdm Property Reference. Here you can see all the possible CSS properties that you can use to style your elements. Here you can see all these background color, border style, all these color, cursor, font size, font family. So these are all the possible HTML elements that you can use to style your elements. Now that you know how to write your CSS code using Css Ruleset or Css Inline Styles, so in the next lesson we'll see when we use CSS Ruleset and when we use CSS Inline Styles.